Hello there, you guys. I hope you're all doing well. Today, I'm very excited to get back with another salve recipe. As you all know very well by now, this is my favorite herbal craft ever to create, and well, I think enough time has passed between the last one, and I have been dying to make another one for a couple weeks now, and I kind of chose a bad time to do it, but it got done, it got made. It is a wonderful creation, and I'm really happy with it. So I hope you guys enjoy and give it a try. So without further ado, let's get into this anti-stress salve. Personally, salves are one of my favorite quick fix go-tos for any emotion that is like stress, anxiety, or something that is tense and needs to be kind of worked away. I think having this physical component, this easy little thing you can grab and put on your hands, is exceptionally beneficial and easy. It's a very portable spell, and it's one that you can share with people who may not quite be very tuned into witchcraft or comfortable with the general ideas of it, which means this also makes a really good spell or a spell formula for those of you still in the broom closet, as all you really need to be expressing is that you're making an herbal craft. As my practice is based in herbalism, the components I chose and use have medicinal properties that relate to anti-stress or stress relieving things, qualities, that business. And so the herbs I used were lavender, passion flower, and ginger. Lavender has peace and calm properties, and it's one of my favorite to use for anything like that. I used passion flower for its peace qualities. It's also another one that I love to use in sleeping spells, as it can be a really powerful aid in just calming the mind and bringing peaceful sleep and dreams. So use it in moderation here, but it is very nice for just bringing you down and entering that nice steady state that we all could benefit from when we're stressed out. And ginger, of course, I am using to enhance the magic. One of my favorites for that, and something I've been using in spells a lot lately for this purpose. Feel free to use loose herbs or essential oils. I would recommend using dried herbs if you can, though I've never really had any issues with fresh herbs used in personal salves. I would not use them for ones that you would give away because they can make it go rancid a little quicker. So if you think you're going to use it up in a quick amount of time, it's really no worry. Otherwise, dried is better, or essential oils, in which case it will help preserve it for a longer time. You're also very welcome to combine both of those or mix it up a bit depending on whatever you have. And as always, feel free to use any herbs or plants that really speak to you and express, a stress relieving quality to you. I think it's really important to use what you have in witchcraft, and don't feel like you need to go buy all these fancy tools or herbs or things if you don't have them. Use what grows abundantly around you outside, the things that you are connected to. These are just the herbs and plants that I chose to use in this, but there are many others that would work just as well, if not better, for you. The other ingredients you'll need for the salve: 1 cup of olive oil, 1 ounce of beeswax, and a small scoop of coconut oil. The coconut oil is optional. Personally, I find that it gives it a much nicer texture, but it's really something that you can choose to add or not add. I know there are a lot of people with allergies to it. Perhaps you could shift it to shea butter or another oil-like substance that is solid at room temperature. Though mine was not during the making of this because my apartment has been very warm these past few summer days. I also tend to get a lot of questions asking if the olive oil can be changed, and yes, it can. I would recommend, if you want to keep the ratios the same, to use a liquid oil at room temperature, but you're welcome to use anything that really works for you or speaks to you, or whatever you have on hand. You just may have to change the ratios up a little bit. I also do get questions on whether or not beeswax is necessary, and I would say yes it is, unless you have a substitute wax that you prefer to use. I've never worked with anything beyond beeswax in my personal salves, but I'm sure there are other substitutes out there. But you do need an agent that will bind it all together, like the beeswax does. So now that you've hopefully gathered all of your ingredients, let's get into actually making it. Begin by combining the herbs and oil. This is where you should spend a good bit of time infusing your intent. And I recently did a video on intent and deciphering intention, all the different ways to put it into Spellwork, and I would recommend watching that now if you are a little bit confused on intent, what it is, or how to work it. I will link that down below. But personally, the way that I prefer to do it in these kinds of spells is to take a good pinch of the herb, whatever feels right, hold it in my hand, infuse my intent, and then put it into a jar. Do this with each herb and then pour in the oil. Now, if you were to do a hot infusion, which is what I did in this video, it is a much quicker infusion. Take the jar and put it on a stove top in a pot and add some water. This way you've created sort of a double boiler situation. And allow it to boil here for 3 to 6 hours, giving a stir every once in a while, infusing your intent as you go. Once this time is up, take it off the heat and cover it with a towel and allow it to set here overnight. Alternatively, if you wish to not do a hot infusion, you may take the jar of herbs and oil, cap it off, and put it in a dark spot for 6 weeks, giving it a little shake or stir every once in a while. Then after that time is up, it'll be at the same place as this boiled infusion is after the overnight. The next day, begin by straining the herbs, a step I forgot to do, but it's okay if you forget. You don't have to worry about it. You'll just end up with a little bit of a more pretty salve in the end. Then take the jar with the oil, add it back to the pot of water, this time adding a second mason jar and putting beeswax into that one. Stir the beeswax and the oil, bringing the oil up to temperature and melting the beeswax. Once the beeswax is melted and the oil is up to temperature, combine the two, give them a stir, and then add in a bit of the coconut oil. I usually just do a small scoop, though this time, since it was liquid, I ladled a small bit. If you've chosen to use essential oils, add them in now. Then give it all a stir, infusing the last bits of your intent, really focusing in on it, and then pour it into a secondary container to let it set. Allow it to set here and cool. Mine took a little while because it was so warm in my apartment, but it did eventually set up, and I am very pleased with it. Once it's set, it's ready to use. Just rub it onto your hands and kind of focus on that stress relief, calm energy that you need. It's a great spell to gift to others, and it's a great one to just use in settings that may not be perfectly friendly to spellwork. For example, those of you living in a home that doesn't quite allow you to practice. This is a very undercover method and one that still produces very effective, useful spellwork. Plus, I find that it's a very easy beginner spell to help kind of hone in on your intent and focus on building that skill. So as always, I hope you enjoyed and I hope you give it a try. If you do, let me know. Tag me in some photos on Instagram or anywhere, and I would really like to hear how you all may change it up as well in the comments. What herbs you may use in substitution to mine, or if you have any other oils or ideas of making it your own. Alrighty guys, if you want to help support this channel, I would really appreciate it if you checked out my Patreon. There I share art, herbalism, some other fun things, and I am working on sharing even more things, and it is becoming a fun little community over there. And if you haven't already seen my other channel, it's kind of just a vlog space where I share more of my day-to-day craft and herbalism and adventures and naturey things. So if you're interested in that, that will be linked down below and at the end. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you soon.